Good evening, Randomania. I'm NetSky1, joined in the booth here with Sheep Launcher. Good to see you tonight, Sheep. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great Monday. And
I had a terrific Monday, Nitsky. I hope you're as excited as I am for the first part of the highway to the Threemus zone.
I am definitely excited. This is the second or third race of what are going to be a lot of races going on over the next 3 or 4 months. So definitely buckle in and get excited and get pumped as we have KindaNerdyHousewife and CrimsonAvix going against each other in their first round matchup. And we do finally get a quick peek at Crimson's screen there to see what we're going to be looking at tonight. It looks as though we're going to be completing K Bahamut. Very exciting. Value Town. Breaking the Dark Elf spell with the Twin Harp. So required music. Everybody will love that. And burning the Village Mist down with the package. So definitely interesting set of objectives, as well as forging the Excalibur with the Legend Sword and the Adamant, as per usual. So again, our runners can complete any 3 of those 4 to be able to get the crystal to go to go mode, to go to Zeromus and kick somebody's butt. So definitely very excited tonight to have this done. I'm trying to remember which group this is. Sheep, do you happen to know what group this is?
I do. This is Group Valifor. Kind of Nerdy Housewife and CrimsonAvix are in that group with Coffee and Chocobos and Marty56, who are also on right now. But with this group, it's so important to get off to a fast start. Both these runners are going to want to win this race tonight because the only way you're guaranteed into the table stage is to go 3-0 in your group. So both these runners can't afford to have a slow start. They really want to start it off with a win.
No, absolutely, and I agree with you 100%. You always want to get out of the gate, get the nerves kind of shaken off, get the rust shaken off, and finally get into the swing of things here as we see some interesting naming from Kinda Nerdy Housewife. Looks as though Crimson's going to stick with the classic, I believe. Looks as though it's the Rodent Kingdom, which is kind of funny. And 404, nice.
Yes. Food not found.
Yes. So just in case anybody is joining or is new to this, in this flag set, Fusoya is going to be taking a nap in regards to the situation, and you're not going to see him in the race at all. But definitely, we do see our runners are about to get up and running. So we do have to start here. We do have Palom and Porum.
And a package. So that's one objective that they can take care of right off the bat if they want to sit through a cutscene. Now, there are plenty of other ways to get characters in this flag set, as the free characters are on. So there are 2 available in Mysidia. There's 1 on Mount Ordeals. There's 1 in Damsian. So they don't have to sit through the Burning of the Village Mist to get a character unless they want to complete that objective.
Definitely. I think if it's me, I probably go and take a peek at that first, because it could be a good character. You got to get it out of the way anyways, so you might as well just live with the cutscene already. But we'll see what our runners decide to do here in regards to that.
That would probably be where I would go as well. The cutscene isn't that long. You could get some cheap experience from those bosses from that boss in the Kaipo Inn. So, and the character there is Rydia in her vanilla spot.
Is this even randomized? Dathas must have rolled this seed. I'm convinced. And looks as though KNH is going to get this out of the way quickly.
Meanwhile, CrimsonAvix has found Cure 2 and Life Potions in the Baron shop, so that is important there to stock up on.
Absolutely. Definitely important in these flag sets to have someone who can heal and someone who can take care of your party there in regards to that. So we'll see. It's a fun sprite. It's not the traditional sprite for Rydia there, so that's always good. I think I might be just a little bit behind. Let me just refresh here.
CrimsonAvix doing a standard looting of Baron. There's not as much loot in this flag set. This flag set only has 60% of the available treasure, but there is still plenty of treasure to be had in Baron.
No, absolutely, definitely a good place to go to get treasure, and there are quite a few other places that people may or may not be aware of to get treasure as well.
So KindaNerdyHousewife is making an interesting play here, where she went to the Village Mist, burned it down, and then just left. So she said, I don't want to deal with that cutscene any more than anybody else does. She's just going to leave Rydia there. The downside of that is next time she goes to Kaipo, she has to sit through that cutscene.
That's true. She may not go to Kaipo. She might be able to fade that and avoid going there. Sometimes that can happen in regards to that. So that's definitely an interesting strategy on her part. We'll see if Crimson does the same here as he has triggered the cutscene. He might want to keep Rydia. Rydia's got some utility in the beginning game. She has warp, so that's always super important. That's why I'm surprised KNH didn't quite play that out. But maybe she'll be getting enough levels for Palm that he'll get warp right away.
That's true, and it also depends on what kind of summon is available on Hobbs. If you could get a Sylph there, that really makes Rydia especially effective in the early game.
Yeah, it looks as though Crimson's going to fade as well. Again, more vanilla. Got Tella sitting in the Watery Pass, and Crimson is going to pick up Tella. Tella does have some major utility in this flag set, especially for grinding purposes. You'll definitely want him there to help you out with that. He's just going to exit out. Definitely a smart strategy there to get out of the way, and
it makes looting the Watery Pass much more feasible to have Tella there with exit.
Looks as though Crimson decided against triggering the cutscene there, and gonna go elsewhere. While KNH has picked up Rosa, finally our first non-vanilla character. Rosa is at Damsian, so that's definitely exciting.
White Mage power here early on, along with Yang and Edwards. So it's going to be interesting how the party shapes up. I imagine there's going to be a few more changes along the way.
I would think so as well, but you never know. It depends on what the seed wants to give you, and so far it's giving us this. So hopefully our runners can definitely deal with that, while KNH does some looting here of the Antlion Cave, a fan favorite here. It's a lot of treasures in here.
That Charm Claw is a little interesting. It makes Yang a little more useful here in the early game. Nothing like a Cat Claw or anything like that, but it has its uses.
And there's a Poison Claw for KNH. So that definitely won't hurt things either. Let's see her go up and check these 3 chests in here. And there'll be 2. There's some edge gear, some wizard hats. So it's basically at the beginning, it's just a matter of running around, getting your team together, doing those early checks, checking to see where your items are going to be, and then basically going from there and deciding what it is you're going to do.
CrimsonAvix, meanwhile, selling some of his loot and is probably going to shop at the 2 Troya shops.
Definitely picking up those dancing daggers. Definitely overpowered at the the beginning of the run here, as you can use them as an item and do anywhere from 200 to 400 damage to a target, and can be used by both Palom and Edward and Porum, and I believe Rosa as well. I could be wrong on that.
Kind of nerdy housewife running into Mylon and friends at the bottom of the Antlion Cave. Shouldn't be much of an issue here. Just annoying.
Definitely annoying, if anything.
It is now their duty to completely drain you, as Nirvana would say.
And the gas are out of the way. Mylon should only have no more than 1,000 HP here, I would assume. It's going to be a bit of a slog, but if you have your twins there do their twin casts, it's probably the smart play, as Mylon will counter any attack you make against him with Lit 1, which is again just more so annoying than anything else.
I did notice.
Oh my body. Come out there, so.
And kind of nerdy housewife is through. I did notice in Troya there were some vampires for sale in one of the item shops. Those can be useful for the early game, although they are expensive at 4,000 a pop.
Yeah, they're definitely not cheap. And the Legend Sword at the bottom, so definitely could go another way there, and could potentially forge the Excalibur there if KNH picks up the Adamant. Could totally fade K Bahamut potentially.
Sure. It's looking at the objectives. One of these things is not like the other. You need the Darkness Crystal to complete Cape Bahamut, and the other three can be accomplished on and under the blue planets. So, depending on where the Darkness Crystal is hiding, it may just be a matter of necessity to complete the other three first.
Absolutely, might be correct. Sheep, as we see KNH go over to Fabul, and we're gonna get a look at what Fabul's going to provide us here momentarily. As we see Crimson do some arranging of the inventory and putting on some stuff. That's super exciting.
And the Dark Imps are invading Fabul Castle today. Another one you don't necessarily want to see early, but can help get some objectives out of the way.
No, absolutely. You don't want to be have things too difficult in the early going, but you'd rather not see Dark Imp here and all the other Mylon and friends. You'd like to see that in a different spot. But you do what you can. As we see, Crimson is going through Antlion Cave here.
Yeah, we'll see if all of Crimson's extra shopping and looting will help him get through Mylon and friends any quicker than kind of nerdy housewife.
Absolutely, we see old Gilbert's taking a nap there, as he should be.
Well, that's very unsquirrel-like behavior, if you ask me. They're always active. I don't think they sleep.
I have heard that they don't sleep. I was out on a walk today and saw one just barreling around in the park. So they're definitely busy. And KNH is through that with relative ease. And we'll see what he gets from what she gets. My apologies. What she gets from the king there, and we have a magma key.
And the underworld is open to kind of nerdy housewife. If CrimsonAvix decides to fade Fabul, that could cost him some time.
Definitely some interesting choices for KNH. Sometimes you have too many choices available at this point, but we'll definitely see her checking. She'll want to remember that there are star veils here.
And cabins, and kamikazes, a stacked Fabul shop.
Yes. Gonna sell off some stuff there. Sell that slumber sword. You don't need that. Get some money. Get a couple of star veils. And go from there. We'll see what she decides to do at this point as she exits Fabul. We see CrimsonAvix continuing to go against Mylon here.
That dancing dagger doing some work.
Is definitely in the beginning game. It's definitely not something you wanna lose. You wanna find it. You wanna buy it. You wanna use it because just like the vanilla speedrun, use it to get rid of stuff right away.
And Edge is on top of Mount Hobbs, and this could be huge.
We'll see. She
resets
out of it. That is interesting. I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask her about that later on. That she decided to eschew Edge. I'm gonna have to write that down. That is definitely a peculiar play. I don't know what to say. It's not something that I personally would have done, but
I mean, Mom Bomb is on top of Hobbs, and Mom Bomb, wherever she appears, has 10,000 more hit points, but I don't know if that would prevent me from stopping to pick up this Edge. I know there was a middle sword in the Antlion Caves, so there's at least something decent for him out there.
Yeah, and even if you're going with the short swords, a base Edge is, in my opinion, more useful than an Edward. Just saying, not trying to hate on Edward, but if you gave me a choice and said base level Edge or Edward, even with a dancing dagger, give me Edge. He's got more hit points. He's got more defense. He can take a punch.
And you can always use that dancing dagger on Palom, as CrimsonAvix is doing.
Yeah, absolutely. There's other utilities out there for it, but
CrimsonAvix is taking this fight and ditched Tella for Edge, and we'll get into all the explodey phases of Mom Bomb here.
Yeah, this is Mom Bomb's vanilla location, so it's not too bad. Here again, those explosions shouldn't kill anyone. Come close. Oh, got Palom. But again, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, KindaNerdyHousewife found the Avenger in the Fame Arch, so if she wasn't looking for a Cecil or a Kane before, she certainly might now.
That was in the one trap chest in Fame Arch?
No, it was in the rat tail chest.
The rat tail chest. Thank you. It's not a key item, but could be worse. Could definitely be worse, as we'll see. We'll see if she peeks those bosses down there. Meanwhile, Crimson is having a little bit of a challenge here with these bombs, as they are now going to explode. Although, again, you see Edge's utility. He's got 689 hit points, so should definitely be able to survive these explosions. It's going to suck, but definitely a little better than Edward, that's for sure.
CrimsonAvix is through and has his Edge. Edge was the only one who got experience out of that, which is a little bit of a shame, but I'm sure he'll take it.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Sorry, meanwhile, down in the Fame Arch, the bosses are King Queen Evelyn and Ashura in her vanilla spot.
So much vanilla. go much fell, but take this free fight here with King Queen Evelyn.
All the king and queen are going to do is fire 1 and fire 2 until they become conscious and decide to kill themselves. So even at this spot, those magics should be they should be able to tank it at this spot.
Yep. Well, KNH already hid her Edwards, so that's definitely not a problem there. They will continue their script even if he's not on the screen. Yeah,
Heads up play by KNH.
Yep, definitely a heads up move there because, while you should be able to survive it, you want to make sure you only want to do this once. You see CrimsonAvix doing some equipping here, powering up Rosa a little bit with a great bow and some fire arrows.
I believe he's doing this in Fabul, so that might be his next objective, to fight those dark imps and get that magma key.
Yep. For people who may or may not be aware, you do get a free heal at Fabul, so CrimsonAvix definitely taking advantage of that.
Both before and after the fight, so it's very convenient.
Yep.
KNH is through King Queen Evelyn and gets the crystal sword.
Now definitely looking for a Cecil. I don't know anyone who wouldn't want a crystal sword Cecil on their team. I mean, I'm sure there are some people, but
yeah, he's certainly a powerhouse. The crystal sword, of course, is Cecil's most powerful weapon. So even at low levels, if you just get him up ordeals, he can cut through just about any boss, certainly on the blue planet.
Yep, that's for sure. You're absolutely right, Julius. And now that we've found an Avenger and a crystal sword, there's going to be no Cecil to be found. I'm almost convinced now. You're right, Fractal. It should be Ragnarok, but that's how they translated it in 1991. So that's what we get. We get a crystal sword. So it's just one of the many translation quirks of Final Fantasy IV. Yes. Also, there were limits. I believe 8 characters would have been the most, and Ragnarok, I believe, is 9. So. They did what they could do. It was old technology. 8 characters was a big deal.
KNH going back to Baron at this point, and she's finding in the Baron Anatella guarded by Rubicon.
As CrimsonAvix is picked up his magma key. We'll see where he goes as we see Ruby in a very, very easy spot here. You love to see it, as Ruby can be a real pain in the butt depending on where he is.
By it, you mean leg, right?
Yes.
And I don't think Crystal Sword is such a bad translation of Ragnarok. I mean, Crystal is famous for being strong and able to slice through things.
Leggy, there's also a boss. His name's Rubicon. He has a leggy mode as well. And behind Rubicon is Golbez. You hate to see it. You hate to see Golbez in any seed, but you hate to see him just in general. Especially
here for Atella. Hopefully for KNH, there's a key item here that makes this worth her while. But this is going to take a long time, and the love to hate went in record speed.
Yes. Yeah, she was probably super psyched to see Ruby there, and now super unpsyched to see Golbez behind. But what can you do?
CrimsonAvix goes right to Agard and drops in the well. You have to imagine he's going to do some shop checks down here. Maybe go to Feymarch after that, and maybe you'll see that King Queen Evelyn.
Yep. Trying to destroy Tomra there with the Enterprise. It's a good try. This shop always seems to have something good in it.
Yes.
Ether 2 and Thor Rages, they're okay. And Crimson's going to go in and check the weapon shop. We see a Cat Claw and a Drain Spear. Always fun to throw. And are we going to get a validation of Job Dwarf?
An operations management analyst. I don't know really what those people do. Sounds like they send a lot of emails and have a lot of meetings.
That definitely sounds like it. But Crimson has validated, and we always appreciate that. And
another vanilla item. It's a vanilla Baron key in the Baron Inn.
So much vanilla in this seed. It's a Dathus special. Who rolled this? Who rolled this vanilla nonsense? We'll see what KNH decides to do here. Well, sorry, Tella. You're going to stay on the side of the road.
The Baron Castle is right there. There's another character opportunity there behind two bosses. So it'll be interesting to see what she decides.
Absolutely. She's going to do a little more looting here. Going into Rose's house and stealing all her money. Poor Rose's mom. She's trying to save for Rosa to go to college. Some illusions.
Stealing money from innocent people is a time-honored tradition in the Final Fantasy series.
This is very true. Very true. Those Kirtus and Lives don't buy themselves.
CrimsonAvix heading down into the Feymarch, and he found the trap chest, reset out of it, and is now looting to his heart's content. He found a long sword, a black belt, not too bad, and a tiara.
Some definite edge here. Edge would love to wear that tiara if only he could. It's basically akin to the ribbon, but can be worn by anybody. Or, sorry, can only be worn by female characters. I was getting those reversed. And we see KNH going through the Baron sewers here. Still on that search for music. Still on that search for
an adamant and for a darkness crystal.
Yeah.
KNH illustrating one of the things I don't like about this seed, which is the fact that somebody's taken about 40% of the chests. And so you have to do the walk of shame when you go into a place that only has one chest and it's already been opened.
We see a big old CPU there at the Bygone spot. This should not be very, very difficult. 3,500 HP for the CPU. Take out the defender, let the attacker hit you a little bit, and just take down CPU.
Yeah, the Mazer only does 10% of your max HP to every attack. With two white mages, that shouldn't be an issue.
Exactly. Get Palom some magic power up there. Definitely shouldn't be that difficult there. Well, Yang's got a hit, so you know.
Yes, he can't miss. He's going right up to them and punching them. You'd think he wouldn't miss from there, but CrimsonAvix in the Feymarch saw King Queen Evelyn, and he's gonna reset, tent up, and go after it.
Absolutely, and be rewarded for his efforts with the crystal sword there. See, this is where if you had an edge, definitely CPU fight would definitely go a lot faster, as Edge could put out a lot more DPS and doesn't miss like Yang.
Certainly, and if you picked up a sword in the Barren Waterway or a spear that you weren't using, this would be a prime throwing opportunity.
Absolutely, you wanna knock out these bosses. They're not difficult, but CPU can get a little belligerent here if you do take out the attacker. It does something called Globe 199, which basically puts 2 of your characters to sleep here. We'll see if she can get CPU down before that happens.
She gets through. A very clutch move by KindaNerdyHousewife, and she is through the first boss in Barren Castle.
Julicent, throw the Avenger. You're not going to get a Caesar Arcane anyways. You never know. You never know. There could be a Cecil right here at Barren Castle. We just don't know. That's right, Zoe. Whenever you throw it, one always appears. Gonna see some more looting by KNH here, as CrimsonAvix is finishing up with King Queen Evelyn.
There's a lunar sparkle on the throne, and we'll see which lunar boss has taken the form of King Baron. It's D-Lunars.
So we'll see what sort of strats that KNH employs here.
The character with the character with the most DPS at this point is probably Yang, and every time Yang hits the fight command, the D-Lunars will bounce viruses off themselves. Now Yang can use power, and Rosa could potentially use aim if she has arrows that would pierce these people. But never mind. Palamez Quake.
Yeah, I was about to say Palamaz Quake, so it should not be a difficult fight as long as you get to it before D-Lunar does their little breath trick there. So KNH playing with fire a little bit here as counters.
Ooh. That's rough.
Yee. D-Lunars not to be messed with. That's for sure.
No, they're certainly not a trifle anywhere you find them, and KNH is going to regroup and go at it again. Meanwhile, CrimsonAvix is going to pay Yang a visit in the Sylph Cave.
Definitely one you want to get out of the way. It's a freebie check, so
too many trap chests down here to do the same thing he did in the Fey March, which is search for the trap chest and then loot everything else. There are 6 trap chests in the Sylph Cave, and nobody's got time for that.
Yeah, at this point, about 30 minutes in, you want to be done the majority of your looting, if not all of it. I mean, you could still pick up things in theory.
And it looks like CrimsonAvix found some sirens somewhere. It's omelet time.
So Crimson's going to get a few more levels before taking on potentially who's in Dwarf Castle, potentially who is anywhere else. Definitely a smart play to make here. You want to buff up your guys as much as you can.
Certainly. Would you consider a play up Keyless Tower at this point?
There's still other checks out there. You want to get through Dwarf Castle first before if it's me, I exhaust my other options before I take the low percentage plays, but neither of them feel probably like KNH might feel like she's a little bit behind now that she's had to go back through this fight again. But with Crimson, obviously he's not too worried at this point in regards to where he's at. So he's just taking time, having Palom cast stop, taking these eggs nice and easy, getting the experience. So can't feel too worried at this point. And there's still, like I said, a lot of checks still out there. So you want to exhaust those checks first before you decide to make those lower percentage plays. At least that's how I look at it.
Dwarf Castle does have 2 bosses, but it does have a character, and since the warp glitch is on in these flags, it has 2 key item opportunities. Yeah,
absolutely. You want to, in this flag set, the warp glitch is on, so that's what I thought, Julison. I thought he was looking to get warp on one of his characters, and because you don't want to, unless you have to do sealed cave, you don't want to do sealed cave. There's a reason why it's faded in the speed run, and why nobody likes it. It's long, it's annoying.
Well, we know who's not going to write the tourism brochure.
That's for sure. We do see some Hourglass 2s. That is definitely a treat. Something you don't want to pass up. That's for sure.
And that's a Dark Knight Cecil in the doll spot behind the throne of Dwarf Castle. With an edge, it should be able to take 3 hits.
Yeah, he's grinded enough levels. I don't see it being a major issue here, but and we do see that KNH is through D-Lunars a lot easier this time. Everybody's alive.
And another Rosa.
It's not Edward, that's for sure.
And now it's literally not Edward. So KNH taking on 3 white mage strats.
Definitely interesting. Not that Rose is a bad choice, but I don't think you need multiple Roses, but what do I know?
CrimsonAvix is going to make it through with all 5 party members alive for the second fight here, which is very well done. Baron Castle just has Artemis arrows, which will be nice for one of those Roses, but not what she's looking for.
You're absolutely right. I failed winning. Now you can have one Rosa attack and one Rosa heal.
Oh, if you find a heroine robe, something like that, you can certainly make her a powerhouse.
So she's going to go back for Edge now. Definitely interesting. Going to tent up. Mom Bomb, with the levels she has now, shouldn't be that big of a deal. Leviathan sitting behind Dark Knight Cecil here shouldn't be too difficult, with only roughly about 3,000 HP. And another Edge.
But ditched, as Chad is pointing out, ditched Palom after Palom got after Warp was gotten. So,
well, that might have been a mistake. He grinded for Warp and then he got rid of. I wonder if he was looking to ditch Porum. Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing, Zoe, because you wouldn't grind Palom up to Warp just to ditch him.
and he's resetting. He realizes the mistake he made, and
Okay,
he's going
well,
to go back in.
At least he noticed.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a mistake, but
should be able to recover. He knows exactly what Dark Knight Cecil is going to do here, and the Leviathan behind, if you let Pain Man hurt you too much, could be a little tricky, but he knows that Leviathan is waiting, so he should be through fairly easily.
You're absolutely right, Zoe. Better than opening up the magic menu and going, I had warp. Where did it go? It's a tough one. It's something you hate to see during a race, but it happens.
If I had a dime for every time I confused the twins, I'd have a lot of dimes.
So it took me a very long time to finally figure out who was who.
No, I think you misunderstand me. What I'm asking for is a lot of dimes.
Oh, you want some dimes?
KindaNerdyHousewife takes care of Mom Bomb on top of Mount Hobbs before splitting into the 6 bombs and has an edge.
Yep, that's absolutely right, Zoe. Green is for Quake Kid, and orange is for not. That's just how I tell the two apart.
So mine is dumb. I go orange robe has 2 O's, so that's Porum, and green robe has only 1 O, so that's Palom.
That's definitely interesting. Their ponytails are on opposite sides, PK. You're absolutely right.
I mean, it's just so obvious when you get down to it.
No, absolutely.
So, KindaNerdyHousewife heading up Mount Ordeals here. Found a Porum up on the mountain.
And just a casual curse ring just sitting in a chest. Gotta love that.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, especially with no Cecil.
No Cecil confirmed, because we did get that crystal sword.
Because you got a crystal sword and you have a curse ring, so there's everything there, so... Cecil's on the giant, obviously. You might be right, Zoe. You might absolutely right. Oh, hi, Wyvern. Good to see you at the top of the mountain.
Ooh, and that's a mega nuke to the face.
Yeah. Take a seat.
Yeah. Wyvern is rude just about anywhere, but it always feels especially rude to me at the top of Mount Ordeals because you get a second to process what's happening before that mega nuke occurs.
And after all of that warp glitch, we get a Dragoon Spear, and a white shirt. So, boy, I don't know if that was worth resetting. Dragoon Spear? Like, knowing what I know what it is now, of course, but... Might have been worth getting rid of Quake Kid.
Could have been, and Threemus is still out there, if I'm not mistaken. So you might have to go into Luca's cave anyway.
You might. Sorry, Zoe. We were just a touch ahead of you there. Just a touch. Yes, the black shirt is fixed in version 4.1, so that's always nice. The black shirt messed up and increased the will stat by 15 when it was supposed to increase the wisdom stat by 15. but Board was nice enough to fix that, and now it works as it should.
Speaking of the Luca key, Sheila 1 has it.
Oof, you hate to see it. So now, Sheep, what do you do?
I mean, you're running out of places to go. Mount Ordeals is a possibility if you get past that Wyvern up at the top. I think Keyless Tower might be the play here.
I was just gonna say Keyless Tower probably gets a little more thought from me now, just because you're running out of spots and you're running out of places to go. Because
CrimsonAvix might want to stay on the surface a bit because he hasn't done Mount Ordeals and he hasn't done Baron Inn.
Nope, that's very true.
We know what's behind that Baron key, but that's our prerogative from up here in the booth.
That's very true. Would you dip Odin?
K&H's side, she's running out of spots to check, so after the Sheila check, I might take a peek at Odin. We've had a lot of free bosses already, though, so I'd be prepared for a slog.
Alright, well, good news, CrimsonAvix did get at least one Star Veil up, so should be able to take it out there, and does. Not a ton of experience here, so I'm not too sad that everybody else died.
Mm-hmm. And Jeep is pointing out in chat that CrimsonAvix did the casual walk past the save point, which in version 4.0, I think this was introduced where there no longer is a pop-up at the save point, and it gets me every time.
It has gotten me quite a few times. I do most of my practice offline, and it always bothers me because I kind of use it as my brakes, and now I don't have that, so now I just fly right by it.
And Mount Ordeals pays for itself a little bit. Demist on the back of the bridge.
Definitely, I would say from up here in the booth, I'd say Crimson is probably in the lead a little bit. Just having that check and getting through those checks there. This shouldn't be too difficult, as you see there. He's only got about, I believe, 3,500 hit points, and with the levels Crimson has now on his characters, shouldn't be too difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Demist had Wyvern for a bodyguard, absolutely, but didn't do too good of a job. A sound effect, don't It definitely is a unique sound effect. So let's see if Ordeals maybe had all the secrets all along.
Just a sorcerer robe. It seems a little rude.
Are there any key items in this scene? Holy jeez! Between all the vanilla and all this gear. Oh, you hate to see the guards here. You hate to see it.
Yeah.
Another free boss. You don't even need the mute bell for them here. They only have a 500 HP each. I agree.
K&H heading back down up the mountain. Sorry, sorry, Ned. Go ahead.
That's okay. I was just saying, it's tough to track when they don't get any key items. That's for sure. But yeah, as you were about to say, KNH is about to take her second trip up the mountain here. Hopefully, she's set everything right, and we'll be able to at least get one Star Veil off. She does have 3, so that's... And it looks as though she'll be good this time.
CrimsonAvix heading back down the mountain, probably going to go check that Demas. The other play that is possible at this point is that Ashura down in the Fey March, they know where to get Star Veils. and they should have the levels. That fight should be doable at this point.
Yep, I totally forgotten about Ashura. She might actually hold all the secrets, though. We'll find out what Crimson's up to here. He's going into,
and he's going to get a laugh after Ruby.
Absolutely. Interesting that hopefully he didn't forget about Threemus to check that spot. Because while free characters are on, free items are not on. So when you kill Threemus, you go and see Rydia's mom in the Village of Mist, and she has a key item for you. It might actually could be Darkness Crystal, could be Twin Heart, could be Adamant, could be anything.
Could be something that leads us there. Earth Crystal's still out there somewhere. We could use the hook. So it's really, we haven't gotten anything yet.
Yeah, it's we're just sort of in this holding pattern here. KNH getting through that Threemus fight much easier this time, having a much easier time, and just gonna get a sorcerer robe for all her troubles, and
she's not gonna have any problem getting through these guards.
Yeah.
The other thing about this Golbez fight is this Yang spot, if I'm not mistaken, it's one of the slowest in the game. So not only does he talk a lot, he takes a long time to do it.
It does seem like a quite slow spot here. While we see the shadow has eaten up some people there. They're gonna disappear. He's got an edge. He's got a palm. He's good to go.
Should be fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Shouldn't be a problem at all. While we see KNH through, and she's gonna go down the mountain
and she's got to go underground somewhere. She's already done everything on the blue planet after she checks Threemus, if she doesn't forget about that.
Yep. There is Odin's spot.
True.
That's the only other spot, and looks as though Crimson's through Golbez without a problem there, and there's no experience at that spot, so it doesn't matter who's actually alive for that fight. He got some Baron keys that even randomized.
This guy, I don't want to go down in the basement.
Oh.
Someone down there.
Oh no.
So if you were one of these runners, Nitz, would you be frustrated at some point? Would you feel behind?
I might feel like maybe I made the wrong play if I'm both of them, just because we're at 50 minutes in, and beyond burning a village, which we were basically given the package to do, I have nothing done, and I feel like my party is super under leveled. I probably feel like I'm way behind.
This sounds like a lot of college courses I was in.
Well, KNH's gonna have to take the long way around here. And for her troubles, she receives a
hook, which is a character spot and a shop at this point, without a tail to turn in.
Could be a Cecil at that hook spot. Could be a Kane at that spot.
You know as well as I do, it's not a Cecil.
No, it's probably Edward or maybe Palom, maybe Porum. We'll see. We'll see what KNH decides to do now with her shiny new hook.
And she's gonna go into the basement. She's not a scaredy cat like me.
No. I was wondering, she was going into town. I was wondering what she was up to there, but realizing the error of her ways, she's gonna go into the basement and fight whatever it is that is down there, and hopefully get some loots on the way here. Oh. And we'll see who she has.
Oh, it's a blue robe. It's either a water hag or a gauntlet, and it's a water hag. So this could be huge.
It could definitely be huge if water hag's holding something. Although he's no slouch in this spot. He's gonna do some work, but she should have enough HP to survive.
Yeah, she has a Yang with over 1200. She has an edge. She should be all right.
Should be okay. She hasn't grinded up as many levels as Crimson has, but definitely should still be okay. You're right, Scala. The basement is not haunted. It's just a water hag.
The ghost of Anna is down there, though.
That's very true.
And the rat tail, which is convenient since we just got the hook, and we can expect KNH to immediately follow that up.
We're waiting here for KNH to go turn in some stuff. Casual White Spear, definitely no cane in this seed. Just shout out to Randomania for thanking them for allowing us to bring this amazing match to you guys. Also, shout outs to our restreamer Leggy Starscream, give her a follow. And our tracker Zoe Vermillion, give her a follow as well. And my co-commentator in the booth, Sheep Watcher, give him a follow as well.
And give Nitsky1 a follow. I'm not gonna let you get out of here without some promotion for yourself.
Well, thanks.
You know, back scratching club.
Absolutely.
And here is a chain. KNH gets the Earth Crystal at Rat Tail.
So now what do? You've gone from no key items to all these key items all in a row.
Here's
to avoid Cecil. Oh my goodness! Do you go up Zot? Oh, this is something like
it really is.
You rolled like now you've got too many choices. You've gone from 0 to like 100. I would probably also chase the Rat Tail Beowulf. I can see that, Zoe. Leggy rolls some real special ones.
Yeah, I would chase this rat tail as well. I mean, the rabbit hole leads to something. You might as well find out what.
You gotta see it out now. You've gone this far.
Right, and your other options are Ashura in the Ashura spot and a keyless tower, so it's not like there's anything super easy that's another option.
And there are two characters, so
maybe there are 2 more white mages, so KNH can rock the 5 white mages strat.
That's possible.
Ooh, a moon veil.
Oh, look at all this Kane loot. Look at all this Cecil loot. They're definitely not in this seed. Definitely not. Zeus Gauntlet. I guess you could give that to Yang. I would give it to Edge, but if you want to give it to Yang, go right ahead.
And Bacchus wines in Cave Eblin. CrimsonAvix is gonna sell some stuff off and pick up some of those, I think.
Yeah. All the King gear, so you know there's no King. He's going to be nowhere to be found. I'm going to have probably some more Yangs probably here. We'll see what Crimson finds for us here in the bottom of the tower while KNH goes to the top of the tower. Well, sort of.
Well, you know what they say, Nits.
What
All
do they
gain,
say?
no cane.
Yeah, I like my boy Kane. It's very misunderstood. Very misunderstood. Yeah, they never tell us in the story where the Tower of Zod actually is. Yeah, and we see an Edward there for our troubles with Bahamut, so that's definitely a bust. Crimson will want to go back in and get that shop loot again. That is the wrong Edward. It's the Tower of Plot. Well, thanks, Flurry. I never thought it was the Tower of Plot. Let's see,
So CrimsonAvix goes back and picks up those Bacchus wines, two edges should be able to make use of those.
absolutely. Definitely, you don't want to skip the wine. Nobody wants to skip wine. And who do we got here guarding?
Mylon Z.
Well, that's always fun. I akin it to the floating continent of FF6. That's what I call the Tower of Zod. Just this mystical thing that you don't really know where it fits in.
And that's why you wait for Shadow at the end of the Tower of Zod.
That's why I always wait for Shadow. He never shows up in this game though. It's very sad.
It is.
Hey, the race goes great. As you can see, it's almost a dumpster fire. We're an hour in, and we're no closer to the end. I'll be surprised if this wraps up in 20 minutes, but you never know.
CrimsonAvix making the keyless tower play.
Definitely the low percentage play.
But you can't complain about the boss here. It's the Kaipo guards.
No, that's doesn't get much fear than that. While KNH gets through Mylon Z, she goes back to save.
And we'll get to see who are not Paladin and Dragoon are at the top of the tower.
Nice, Zoe, nice. And it looks as though it's Iridia, and we'll see. We'll see. It definitely won't be Caesar or Kane.
No,
definitely. I would be flabbergasted if it is.
it's a Sid.
Oh, hi, other tank. Well, I'm glad we saved you from the bowling ball of doom. Cecil and Kane successfully dodged. You're absolutely right, Jeebus.
I thought we already defeated CPU. Why is it just hanging out there?
Well, you know.
Another plot hole.
There was it was a guillotine in the Japanese version, but apparently Square North America didn't quite like that, so they just went with the crushing bowling ball.
CrimsonAvix defeats the Kaipo guards and gets a pass.
That's always fun. Who doesn't want to pass?
So it will certainly help with these objectives. There's unless an Adamant and a Twin Harp are hiding in the lunar subterrane, you don't need to go down there for really any reason.
That's right. It was Nintendo who didn't like it. I apologize. I just like to blame Square for stuff. Yeah, it was 1991. It was a weird time. Violence in video games was a completely different animal back then. Completely different. as someone who lived through it.
KNH gets through the Dark Elf at the top of tower. Rosa's going to learn Exit here, and we'll find out what the Earth Crystal gets us in terms of a key item.
And we see Crimson getting some more levels here from his buddy, the Yellow Dragon.
Just a Bahamut summon, and KNH has got to be frustrated. That was a long chain to just get a Bahamut summon.
Which I believe she really didn't need. I mean, use money. Money's always nice. So it looks as though she's going to make the play for Shura here.
And I didn't see how many Star Veil she has in her inventory, but assuming she has a couple, she gets the life lockdown, she should have the levels to take care of it.
She has at least 2. So I think she should be okay. Oh, I fail at winning. Jeebus knows what a KI is. He's trolling. I knew you were trolling, Jeebus. I knew you were just joking around. Music? Oh, we're far away from music. Pyrolite, yes, Demas was at Mylon Z spot, and
got us a hook.
Thank you. Sorry about that, sheet. My brain just froze for a second there.
Oh, I thought I was completing your sentence because we have such good chemistry.
Well, you did, and I appreciate it.
No problem. And KNH exits out of the Fame Arch.
Oh, look at that. What do I know? What do I know?
And she's going to do some grinding. Meanwhile, CrimsonAvix going right for that Asura. And he shall test.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too difficult. He's got the levels. She's pretty benign. Just gotta either, like you said, life lock her, or you can do the double Star Veil trick. I've done that. You can also, if you have wall, you can also throw a wall on her, but it doesn't last nearly as long, so...
Right.
Yep, throws the wall on, which is fine. Gonna see some wine drinking out of my buddy Edge here.
There you go. If you have a spare sword in your inventory, is here a good throwing opportunity, you think?
I think so. You might feel like you're a little crunch time. Like when I've seen these seeds and I've seen races, 90 minutes is usually about I want to say a good time on this flag set. So you're at an hour 5 already, and you're no closer to go mode. You got to be pressing just a little bit, because you're thinking, man, my opponent might maybe caught a break and got somewhere and is halfway to Zeromas right now, and I'm here battling Ashura. So definitely time to press. So definitely throw that stuff. At this point, you've grinded up enough with this party. 2 edges, a Yang, a Palm, and a Rosa. That's good enough to go to Zeromus. So I sell the crystal sword. I throw the other stuff. You wanna get this. Also, shout out to Free Enterprise with the rate of 82. Welcome in, Free Enterprisers. You're seeing group stage and sorry, what group was this again? Sheep?
Valifor.
Valifor. It had an interesting name, I knew. We've got their first match, KindaNerdyHousewife versus CrimsonAvix here. Settle in. You haven't missed too much. And welcome in, and thanks for joining us. We greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, two talented runners here, as they've shown. The lack of objectives is just because there's hasn't been really anything to find. They've been very good. CrimsonAvix, if you don't know, went 3-2 in the football gauntlet Swiss round in the last tournament. Just missed out on the round of 32. KindaNerdyHousewife has been in a ton of community races, so she knows what she's doing. Two very talented runners here.
Yes, this seed rolled by one leggy Starscream has been a bit trolly, and as you see there, when you do the wall on Ashura, it doesn't last nearly as long, and she has been able to get a Cure 4 off on herself. That's what you wanted to see if you were a Crimson.
Very much so.
That is definitely very clutch, and because I have a feeling that Twin Harp is on the moon. I
think it has to be at this point.
Yeah. So, yes, as Beowulf has summed up, tons of Kame, tons of Cecil gear, nowhere to be found. Would you take a Cecil at this point? I don't know, Sheep, would you take a Cecil at this point? I think I still would.
I think I still would as well. I find it hard to turn down a Crystal Sword Cecil at virtually any point. If he's on the moon, I think I take him. There's enough grinding opportunity. Even just going through the boss, you can get him up to snuff really quickly. So I think I still take him.
Yeah, even with agility anchoring shenanigans, I would probably still take him if he's on the moon. Like beyond that moon check, I think you sort of settle in with the party that you have. But if he's on the moon, I definitely. Who would you get rid of?
I think I would get rid of Yang at this point. Yang has the tanking ability down, but I'd rather have Edge and Cecil for their damage output. Maybe Palom I'd get rid of.
Oh yeah, you would consider Palom? See, I would get rid of Yang in a heartbeat. He's tanky, but that's about all he's good for. And at this point in the game, he's not that useful. So with Cecil, you have all the amazing gear. He can definitely make up for the DPS.
Now, speaking of strategy, Nitz, what's your route on the moon here? Do you go to Cape Bahamut first because you know you have to complete it, or do you go for the more dense key item checks?
Oh, it's a tough one. I want to see who's on the moon first.
And that's what CrimsonAvix is doing right now.
Yeah, so we'll see in just a minute. Yep, Simply Jeff, in this flag set, Mop is going to be taking a permanent vacation. So he's off in the Bahamas. No. So definitely we don't have to play what do we want to do with Cecil, because is definitely not Cecil. As a Porum.
You know, the thought experiments are fun, but we can save those for philosophy class.
Yeah. So I would definitely do K Bahamut first. I would probably check. I would check the Hummingway shop just to make sure there wasn't anything I missed. But definitely finish K Bahamut first because you got to do it anyways. So get it out of the way. And there might be a key item here.
True.
I mean, if Twin Harp's here, if Twin Harp's here, then geez, you kill two birds with one stone, and then you fade the entire lunar subterrane, which is huge because it can definitely twist you around there with boss checks and the shenanigans and whatnot. So package was at Rydia, or Rydia was at package. Neither of them have turned it in. I wonder if they're holding on to that, or if they're just going to fade it all together and use her as an agility anchor at the end.
Ooh. Well, since Cecil is almost certainly not going to be around, then that's a possibility.
Yeah, definitely something. And Crimson's gonna do a little bit of grinding before he decides to fight the boss. He has those hourglasses, so definitely might as well use them.
Personally, but I'm sure the runners would much rather see an adamant here than a twin harp. If you do find the twin harp before the adamant, do you keep on searching for that adamant, or do you just turn in the twin harp?
You have twin harp in the hand, so you go and you turn in the twin harp, because you could be looking everywhere for the adamant, and those checks can definitely cost you a lot of extra time.
Yeah.
Whereas checking twin harp at this point with the levels, it's not that difficult in regards to that. So I would definitely, if you've got the twin harp, you go and you do it. Not just because the people want music, but just because as a runner, you've got it in your hand, and you know it's going to be no more than 5 minutes. So.
But those two birds in the bush over there are singing so sweetly.
Do not be, what's the word I'm looking for? Do not fall for their siren call.
Speaking of sirens, K&H is also going to use sirens to do some more grinding here in the underground.
Yeah, definitely not a bad play. Definitely not a bad play. It's something that a lot of people do. Does she have 10 items yet? I don't believe so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. KNH has got 8. Crimson's got 3, 6, 7.
You know, it's something a lot of people do. It's perfectly normal. It happens to a lot of folks.
Yep. Those eggs go down pretty easy. These King Ryus are a little more work, but you do get a lot more experience for them, so it definitely makes up for it, that's for sure.
Don't you wish you held on to those tutellas now, though?
Yeah. If you did, this would be... So it'd definitely be a lot easier and a lot faster, because it's funny, Palom doesn't learn weak until, I believe, level 48. I believe, which I think is kind of hilarious, but that's how the game was written. And it's a Yang, so definitely not a tough boss here. Yeah, if you had a Cecil.
Gonna hit hard here, though.
Yeah. He's not going to be a walk in the park. Without Cecil, He's actually gonna hurt. As you see there, ouch, 1250. Yeah. That's what I thought at first, Leggy. I thought the exact same thing. I was like, oh, it's Yang. It's easy. Oh, no Cecil.
The story of this entire seed has been no Cecil and no Kane and all the Cecil and Kane gear. So,
yeah. So it was definitely expected. That's for sure. As you can see there, Edge doing some work, and Edge 2 doing some work there. So.
KNH now going back into the Fey March, going to take on that Ashura and finally get her Darkness Crystal, hopefully.
Hopefully she does have 2 Star Veils, so she can definitely do that, or use wall strats. Either or would work. Yep, thankfully this spot isn't extremely fast. I think because Bahamut's pretty slow in this spot because he's got to do that big count. But as you can see there, Yang with the mystical sword there doing 2400 damage. Ralph, you are absolutely right. It is Vanilla Ashura. There's been a lot of vanilla in this seed.
CrimsonAvix is through and is 2/3 of the way toward his objectives and gets a tower key.
Yee! Who's ahead, Dark Falls? It's technically, I guess you could say CrimsonAvix is ahead because he's completed 2 objectives, but I wouldn't put Crimson ahead by too much. Like maybe just a couple of minutes.
And it all depends what this tower key holds and what the lunar subterrane holds, because if he clears it out and finds nothing down there, that could be painful.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right, Possum. The winner, who is winning right now, the fans chat is winning. You're absolutely right, Vitasia. I was just about to say, when in doubt, chat is always winning. And
well, we can't say chat is ahead by too much right now because we still haven't found that twin heart.
Nope, that's very true. I don't know about this play. I think I chased down Super Cannon just to get it out of the way. But
it's a bit of a hike, but the spot itself is super easy.
Exactly. So I want to get it out of the way. That's what I do.
Right.
You know.
Well, CrimsonAvix is going for the numbers here, making the numbers play, it looks like.
Yeah, he's playing the percentages, which is definitely a smart thing to do. I mean, you're an hour 20 in. If Adamant's down here, you're good to go. If Twin Harp's down here, you're good to go. There's a lot of possibilities here at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you would have to think that, knowing what we know, one of them has to be down here, unless the tower key holds the twin harp, which holds the adamant.
Absolutely. We're looking for either or, so...
KNH has her blinks up on the Ashura fight because Ashura does hit hard, but she's getting through it with relative ease here.
And we see Crimson's going to check D Lunar spot, and it's a big turtle. This will not be an easy fight.
No, this will be painful. That big wave, if if he can't neutralize it, is going to hit for a bunch.
Absolutely, it's not something you want to mess with, but we'll see. We'll see how he does there. Oh, he's able to get that Thor Rage off.
And this spot is fairly quick, so you have to be right on top of your Lits and Thor Rages.
KindaNerdyHousewife picking up her Darkness Crystal. We'll see what she decides to do. Her Rose is at level 38. She gets Cure 4, so her Rose is in the driver's seat at this point. Yeah, got it off before. Unfortunately, that Ice 3 didn't hit while the water barrier's up. While the water barrier's up, he is weak to lightning. And while the water barrier is down, Kinazo is weak to ice. So, just in case people may or may not know that or wonder why Ice 3 was thrown in that instance. But seems so far to be able to be handling it without an issue there.
Yeah, the Lits and Thor Rages have been on time so far, and even though the Thor Rages don't do much damage, they get the job done that you want it to do, which is stop that big wave, which is a percentage of Kainatsu's hit points.
Yeah, I would say, Zoe, that Crimson's done enough damage to Kainatsu that even if he does wave, it's not going to hurt too much. It's unfortunate that those lit 3s and nice 3s are so slow.
Yeah, that's the only issue with Palam's 3-level spells, is that the cast time it takes a while. It's like he has to pull out the book every time.
Still does about 400. It's not terrible, but as you can see, it could have been a lot more. It was 400, and it's hiding inside the shell. So that just tells you how much HP he actually had. Oh, remedy for 4,200.
200.
That's a lot. 42,000 HP is no joke. You're absolutely right, Zoe. And KNH takes a peek and sees Yang.
And she's going for it. She pretty much has to, but she's not afraid.
Slows down battle speed. Definitely a prudent action. You want to try and make life as easy as possible for you. Yeah, you need to break out the DPS a little bit more here on Kainatsu. I would definitely throw something with Edge at this point.
But CrimsonAvix is through.
Let's get through.
And there's that Twin Harp. Plus one final insult and Excalibur. So CrimsonAvix has Twin Harp, and he's immediately going to exit and give us some music. You're right, Julicent. The Excalibur is good for throwing for Edge, and he does have 2 edges, so one can Berserk first turn, and one can get to throwing whatever is left to be thrown.
It's possible. Hangry is definitely possible.
And it looks like we've got a raid coming in from Karant. Thanks for the raid. CrimsonAvix is on his way to give us twin harp music and go for his third objective to get into go mode.
It's definitely quite possible Zilch Tower Key could have adamant. You're absolutely right. That would not make it over, but it's tough. I would say Crimson is ahead a little bit. What music it's going to be? I hope it's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle one. Again, I like that one.
You know, my favorite harp music is always anything from Chrono Cross. Chrono Cross's music just translates so well to the harp for me.
Let's see what DJ Spoony Bard has cooked up for us today.
CrimsonAvix defeats the Plague, gets his 10th key item, and more importantly, gets the crystal.
We were having a moment, Scala. The crystal music decided to interrupt DJ Spoony Bard there, but as chat has indicated, I know nothing about Link to the Past other than it exists, but apparently it was a Link to the Past Sanctuary music, so definitely very nice. And that does put CrimsonAvix into go mode at 1:30. And just about to say, doesn't...
So what do you think of CrimsonAvix's levels here, Nets? Is he ready to go, or does he need some work?
I think he's good. He thinks he needs some more levels. Because CrimsonAvix does have the pass, so I would have fully expected him to...
Looks like he's picking up some more Bacchus wines down here in Cave Evelyn.
Could be. Shopping's always important. Always important to get my shopping out of the way there.
Right, you got to pick up your wines while you can. You never know when you're going to go into a dry county.
Absolutely.
He gets a silent staff.
Interesting choice.
KNH, meanwhile, going top down, which isn't the Kiss of Death because there's still an Adamant out there she could pick up, but we know going bottom up could get her the Twin Heart.
And we have Mylon Z here. And, oh no, sorry, Elements. Oh, I saw Mylon Z and just instantly assumed it was Mylon Z.
Yeah, Mylon Z is hanging out with the Mega Sister spot.
That's right. Elements is a pain in the butt here, though. Definitely will hit for a lot, and
yeah, and already onto the Rubicon phase. Didn't want to do the reflect strat to keep it in the Mylon phase.
Let's say, Crimson, you might as well sell that crystal sword. You've already given up Cecil. Getting a ninja sword for Edge, definitely. Now, I'm not 100% sure on that. I know he's done a back row glitch there on that one edge, but I believe that the full moon needed to be on the right hand in order for the glitch to be active. I'm not 100% sure on that. It does. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. It always had to be equipped on the right hand. For Edge, even though they're multi-handed.
CrimsonAvix still has some sirens left and decides to waste not, want not, and uses them for some eggs. Oh, KindaNerdyHousewife gets that adamant, and we are on.
Wow. It is not over. But I want to say that KindaNerdyHousewife has a bit more leveling to do than CrimsonAvix.
I think so.
She could YOLO it if she feels like maybe she's behind. Doing this extra grinding might cause some, but it's tough to say.
But this race is closer than it was a minute ago.
Absolutely. And just proving that on this flag set you can do any three, and that you can definitely get to two different ways to get to the same location. So it's definitely good to see. It is good to see that people can see there are different ways to get to the end. So
very true.
You're absolutely right, Mecca. KNH does get Coco's shot, whereas Crimson doesn't.
And CrimsonAvix is going to Kaipo, and it looks like Nitz, he's going to take your advice and take that Rydia as an agility anchor.
I thought this might potentially be a play, although this, I feel like this might also slow you down. Not that this cutscene's short, but yeah. So she was only doing half damage from the back row, I was noticing. So it needs to be in that right hand first.
And as Max Frost points out in chat, Murasame is for sale in Coco's shop, and KNH is selling what isn't nailed down to get some.
I don't blame her. Murasame being the second best sword in the game, behind the Mazamian. Definitely won't hurt her edge. Yep, Night 2, it looks as though they had Rydia in the back pocket there. And he's gonna dismiss Palom. Interesting.
That is interesting. And, the secret to comedy is callback. And this is a callback to 90 minutes ago when we burned the Village Mist and put Rydia in Kaipo.
Yep. Anything is still possible.
Yeah, Z, it's a cliche because we say it all the time, but Z is by no means a free fight no matter what your levels are. So anything can happen here.
That's okay, Zoe. Sometimes I just throw spaghetti at the wall and just hope that something sticks, so... It's...
Zoe's got egg on her face, Nitz is throwing spaghetti, and it's dinner time for me, so... Alright, CrimsonAvix is going to go have a good time, and we have a question, Nitz, I think we need to ask at this point.
We do. Who is we going to be kicking tonight? There are over 450 sprites now. I remember when there only used to be about 100. So we'll see who we got here as KNH has gotten her 3 objectives together. Maybe it'll be Omus.
Whoever it is, it will have a butt, and CrimsonAvix will be looking to kick it. Opening match of the Threemus zone for each of these players, and when that Z pops up, I don't know about you, Nitz, but the butterflies go up every single time for me.
They do for me. It's never an easy fight.
Two shakes before that crystal goes off. Not too bad.
Everybody has their favorites in chat. Always love to see that. Fair thing. That happened because Scala Kitty, who is one of our amazing admins, did a great job and has I don't even know where Ugimus is from. Where Scala? Where is this from?
Yeah, I don't know either. This looks like my 3rd grade Halloween costume.
Exactly. It's Nightmare Before Christmas. Sorry, Zoe, I'm old. I don't know all the cool things. I wish I knew.
Me too. Sorry you got 2 olds up here in the booth.
Yeah. Well, Born, I'm Canadian, so I'll just blame it on being Canadian.
They wrote a song about that, didn't they?
Probably.
Still 4 up for CrimsonAvix after that 2nd big bang.
No, Scala, we're hoping to get movies next week. I don't like scary movies. I think that's the problem.
And I don't like Christmas movies, so between those.
Between the 2 of us. Yeah. Just because it's Disney doesn't... Yeah. I got my VHS player. So far, Rydia's taking a nap, which I fully expected. So far, I'm not seeing anything out of the ordinary from Crimson, other than Edge doing really, really paltry damage there. 808. That's
yeah. Is that did the back row glitch not go through there, or?
No. I'm pretty sure it had to be in the right hand.
Yeah.
So.
But other than that, things seem to be going according to plan. All four survive that big bang, but Rose is on the edge.
Ouch. That's definitely something that wasn't in the playbook.
No. And KNH is on her way. And when I see the word Oogie, I just think of the boogeymen from Toe Jam and Earl. They go Oogie, 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 Oogie.
Noborn, we just have Snow and Moose and Strange Brew and Slapshot. And that's it. That is it. Yeah, the DPS seems a little like Possum, but and we have Poutine, yes. Which I hate.
Whoa.
It's gross.
I'm gonna forget you said that. That Big Bang, fairly low roll, it seems like to me. And CrimsonAvix still has 4 up, and KNH into the Z-Vibe.
Am I from BC? No, I'm from Ontario.
And he has $1 million.
Yeah.
That's why you eat craft dinner.
That's why I eat craft dinner. Craft dinner's the best. Canada chicken. Oh, the old nuke on Rosa there. Oh, almost. Almost got her. Almost.
And she's going to try and get this Cure 4 up before any further damage. That Cure 2 will help stop the bleeding.
Yeah, you'd hate to roll into Meteor right now.
Yeah.
That would be, having your healer down would be...
Oh! Meteor coming right after that Cure 4 comes out.
Very lucky. Very lucky. It would have been
and there's the flash. And CrimsonAvix wins this race with an SRL time of 1:44.32. GG to CrimsonAvix.
That would be an unofficial Discord race spot time of 1:44.32. Just messing with Ishi.
Yeah.
That's all.
Those things all mean something to me.
It was SRL up until now, so
okay.
I totally get it. I would say it myself. So
I learned it from listening to you.
Hey, I totally get it.
What a race that was. It took great discipline to see that thing through.
Absolutely. Definitely, I think a lot closer than a lot of people were expecting. As KNH is definitely not slouching here. Using the dart, throwing some stuff. Seeing some different strats here. Got some reflect. Looks as though fire 3. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's always nice. It does sound traditional official SRL time. I just thought about it because I was looking and it says Discord race spot.
Well, maybe SRL stands for Sheep Racing League.
It could. Absolutely.
CrimsonAvix wins with an official Sheep Racing launcher time of 1:44.32, which happens to coincide with the Discord.
Gonna see if we get Crimson in here for an interview. We'll get him in the booth shortly here. It doesn't look like KNH is very far behind here.
No.
So far, things.
So, the Rowdy Sniper in the chat. Super Sheep Racing was a minigame in Worms Armageddon.
I did not know that. And we're joined in the booth by CrimsonAvix. Again, official race winner with a time of 1:44.32. GG Crim, what did you think of that seed?
So, naturally, in true free enterprise style, and I haven't really played much before, just doing some practice for this tournament, but in true free enterprise fashion, you get all the sports for Cecil, and there's no Cecil to be found, so...
That's what we were saying in booth, Sheep and I here. All this Cecil gear, no Cecil, so...
So what was going through your head, Crimson, as you traversed through that seed and all of the key items seem to be hiding away?
Well, I would say probably when I got to Baron, and I got the Baron key from Tella there, I was starting to think to myself, okay, Ashura's looking like a big possibility now, and I really don't want to have to deal with that, but once I figured out, you know, I have Sirens, I have Stop on Palom, I can go and just grind a few fights and all that to sort of get my level up more to get wall on Rosa. I really wasn't too worried about Ashura, but then I'm like, okay, but now everything's going to open up. I still have all these key items, so where do I go? And it just so happened that running to the ribbon spot, trying to get to the 10 key items, just happened to have the Twin Heart there, so it kind of just worked out.
And have KNH finishing with an official time of 1:48.44. GG to KindaNerdyHousewife. And I think we have her in the booth as well.
Hello, hello!
GG! Definitely a close race. We appreciate everything. I think everybody has one question. At the beginning, you went up Hobbs, you saw Edge, and then you decided to reset and then go elsewhere.
It was Mom Bomb. That 10k HP takes a long time to get through. If it were any boss but Mom Bomb up there, I probably would have taken it right away.
I see. We were just wondering because it was Edge up there, and up until that point, you had a pretty middling party. Edge could have provided some DPS there, so we were just curious as to why you would reset out at that point. I just written it down here. I was just curious.
So we were talking KNH about all the great Cecil and Kane gear, and no Cecil and Kane to be found. What was your thought process as you went through character check and character check?
Oh, I was like, oh, a crystal sword early. Yep, Cecil's definitely not in this seed.
We just say how much more disappointing it was when Yang was at the Bahamut spot.
Yeah, I probably took that fight a little too cautiously. I turned the battle speed all the way down to 6 on that one. That was a tough one, but blinks for days.
Yeah, at one point we were seeing quadruple 8 Yangs with all the blinks going on.
Yeah, I just tanked him. My Yang fell, but that's about it.
I think what really cost it for me is I got too aggressive on those lunar dragons and took a wipe at Baron Castle. That probably cost me about the 6 minutes, and I lost by 4 minutes, so that was it right there.
yeah, the D-lunars there kind of set you back a little bit, and the seat itself was a bit trolly. It was just giving you gear and not giving you key items and making you run around, and then eventually all the vanilla antlion, vanilla Tella, vanilla Rydia at the package, vanilla Ashura.
Yeah, I actually got really worried in my Threemus fight because I think I got Edge's back row backwards because my second hit was not dealing the damage that he should have been. So I was really worried. I'm like, okay, well, I just cost myself a good minute worth of time because my DPS isn't going to be anywhere close to where it should be. And yeah, that battle took a little while.
Crimson, can you share with us what was going through your mind when that one big bang took Rosa down to about 20 with the potential for Meteor Phase right then?
I was praying that either I saw a Meteor very, very soon that didn't take everyone out, or that her Tier 4 was going to go off before she had all her HP drained. Because I think it took her down to 25 before the drain even started.
Yeah, you're absolutely right on that one. It seemed really close, that's for sure.
Yeah, she's a trooper. She hung in there.
Absolutely. Any final thoughts on the scene?
Well, for me personally, I'm glad it got to be close. That's what I like when I do these tournament races. I don't like it to be a blowout either way because it's not as entertaining to watch. So I'm glad it at least got to be close. And GG again, Nerdy Housewife.
GG to you as well. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. One of you forged the Legend Sword with Adamant, and the other one went to Twin Hearts. So it was definitely good to see two different ways to get to the end. That's for sure.
Yeah, it was very entertaining. So GG and thank you to you both.
Take care, guys. Thanks for doing all the free stream stuff.
Well, thanks. Without you guys, definitely wouldn't be possible. So make sure everybody you give our two runners here a follow, KindaNerdyHousewife and CrimsonAvix. And again, shout out to our restreamer in the background, making sure everything looks great. Leggy Starscream, pushing all the buttons and providing all the memes. Zoe Vermillion, my co-commentator in the booth, Sheep Watcher. Definitely awesome job. Excellent work. And
to you too as well, Nitsky1, and to the entire Restream team. CrimsonAvix takes the inside track on the Valifor group, but Kinda Nerdy Housewife certainly isn't out of it, and we've seen tonight that she is a force to be reckoned with. So I think we'll move on to our next thing. You want to take it away, Nitsky?
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and raid Bahamut X. He's also in our tournament here, and I wanted to thank everybody again. Thanks to Randomania for allowing us into their house and to bring you this amazing content and all this absolute fun. So throw it over to them, and on behalf of the entire crew here,